Yeah, we've got the Summit League Conference Championship coming up this Saturday. It's at USD. It's at their golf course, and so we're pretty excited. This is the meet that we've been training for since the track season finished up in May, and we've put in tons and tons of miles every single week. Guys are doing upwards of 80 to 90 miles a week since June 1st, and the girls have been doing 60 to 75 miles a week since June 1st. And so, our sport is a little bit different than, some of the other sports like basketball, volleyball, football, where the regular season for us isn't important in terms of how we place at the conference championship. Like in basketball and football, your records like really, really matter. For us, those don't really mean anything, right? So everything that we do throughout the entire year and throughout the entire summer, it kind of falls on one day, which is a blessing and a curse at the same time, right? Things could go really well on Saturday, and we could, do a really amazing job. However, if someone gets sick or maybe they're a little injured on that Saturday, it can sometimes be tough. But that's just the nature of our sport and kind of how it is. And we're excited. I think we can do really, really well, both on the men's and women's side, not only as a team, but also individually. I think we've got some individuals on the team that can place in the top three, make a podium finish. I also think on the women's side, freshman Naya Weiler will have a shot to be freshman runner of the year. So far this season, she's beat all the other freshmen in the Summit League. So provided we have a good day on Saturday, I think we could have some really good individual performances as well.
Questions for Coach?
Can you tell us a little bit more about the freshman who has potential to be freshman of the year there?
Yeah. Her name's Naya. She's from Calgary. She's been crushing it this year. She's been finishing usually right behind our number one runner, Eliana Malnuri, who's been Summit League Runner of the Year or Runner of the Week a couple times, and finished third actually at the Indoor 5K Conference Championship last year. So she's just been doing really amazing. She had some good times out of high school, and we're kind of seeing that. We saw it from the beginning, her first race. But yeah, she's doing an amazing job, and she puts herself in good situations. She runs a smart race. So if you go back and look at some of her races this year, she doesn't get out too terribly fast, and she does just a really good job of moving up throughout the race and closing really well her last 1K. So we're hoping she continues that this Saturday.
What does a good day look like for you guys team-wise on both the men's and the women's? How does the race?
Yeah. One thing that's also interesting with our sport is there's 8 schools in our conference that are competing, and there's only going to be one winner, right? It's different than a basketball game or a football game where there's only 2 schools and there's a winner and a loser, right? So on the guys' side, the big goal this year has been top 2. I think winning will be pretty tough. South Dakota State's they're pretty good. They got 6th last year at the NCAA Regional Championship, we had a little conference preview meet earlier this year at South Dakota State, and we beat North Dakota State, who got 2nd last year at the conference championship. So I think we're in a good place to potentially get 2nd on the guys' side. And on the girls' side, we haven't raced a lot of the other schools in our conference. So we haven't seen USD yet. So not really. They won the championship last year. But I think a really good goal on the women's side would be top 3. North Dakota State and South Dakota State, they beat us earlier this year. But at the end of the day, you got to run the races, right? You never know exactly what's going to happen. I told you guys, earlier on that kids could get sick, kids could get injured, right, going into the championship race. And so, you never quite know what's going to happen. So maybe some other teams are kind of struggling with some things. And so we'll just kind of see how it all plays out on Saturday.
Anything else for Coach?
Obviously, going into this, having a championship mindset is a big thing. But beyond that, what's something that you're hoping your team walks out with?
The biggest thing is efforts, right? In our sport, there's no defense, right? We can't go out there and, have a defensive scheme out there to stop the other teams. So, I just really want us to put our best foot forward and walk away on Saturday, regardless of what happens, knowing that we gave it everything we had. The big thing that we've been talking about going into this championship is what I had, I gave. What I saved is lost forever. Right? So we're just going to make sure that when we line up on Saturday, that everything that we got, we're leaving it all out on the course.
What are you most excited about or looking forward to?
I think the thing I'm most excited about is just seeing the growth of our team. We're an extremely young team this year. On the guys' side, I've got one junior, and the rest are freshmen and sophomores. And actually, the junior's not even going to be racing at the conference championship. So we're putting together a team on the line that is all freshmen and sophomores. And so we're extremely young. I also think we're the best we've been since we've entered the Summit League. So it's exciting for the future. And so the big thing I want to get out of on both sides is let's learn from it, right? Regardless of what the results end up being on Saturday, I'm hoping that we can take away some experience and learn from it. That way, in the next 2 years, when I think we really have a good shot of winning as those players grow and develop, that we can take something away from this year and put it into next year and be more prepared.